Bookworm family! Welcome back to my channel. If you're new, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the notification bell because I never know when I'm posting videos, so turning on the notification bell will help you know when I post a video. And also, if you're not following me on Instagram, go ahead and do that. It's at Danny's Book Corner 2018. So, welcome back to my channel if you've been here before. If not, this is a Bookstagram channel, and this is the last one of 2018 that I'm going to be posting. So, really exciting stuff. I'm pretty pumped. Pretty pumped. So, anyway, I am filming this vlog style today because my room is just a disaster zone. I really have to clean, and also I'm just really comfortable in bed today, so you're just kind of getting like the vlog style while me sitting in my bed, and you get my little Albus Dumbledore quote above my head, so I mean, worth it, right? But anyways, I wanted to do my 2018 wrap-up with you guys today. I have no New Year's Eve plans, so my plan is to make a video right at midnight and post that. So you guys have my 2019 video right at midnight too, so that's really exciting. I'm actually okay with not having any New Year's plans. I have been so sick. I've gotten a 10-day break, and for over half of it, I've just been sick. I've had this bad cold, headaches, and yesterday I had like a stomach thing. So I'm really cool with just being home for New Year's Eve. I'm super introverted and, you know, just don't really like going out to parties or anything like that. So I will be ringing in the new year with some orange juice and watching the ball drop, probably with my mom. So I'm not complaining. It sounds like a great night to me. I know some of you are probably like, wow, that's sad, but it's not sad for me, especially because I only have 2 days left of my vacation. I have today and I have tomorrow, and then it's back to the dance season. And if you guys have like an athletic form of job, or like a job where it's a lot of physical movement and stuff like that, you guys know like how hard it can be. So honestly, like, I got onto this 10-day break, and I don't think I really started feeling the break until about 3 days ago, because my body is just used to like going. So yeah, especially like the month beforehand was our Christmas recital and like getting ready for that and stuff like that. So it's just been, I don't think I stopped for a month before this break. Like, I think I always had something work related to do, and it was just super tiring, but I do love my job. I love being a dance teacher. It's probably one of my like top things that I get to do. I don't ever stop thinking about dance. It's like dance and reading are the two top things in my brain at all times. So usually if I'm reading, like, sometimes my brain will just like stop working and go into dance mode, and I'll need to like get up and start moving and start choreographing, and that's just kind of like how it works for me. So, yeah, so being on this break has been nice, but it's just also, I'm just getting comfortable on this break, and like it's winding down. So I'm excited. I go back to work on Wednesday the 2nd, so I am excited to start the new dance year. I am looking forward to competitions and our spring recital, so I'm pretty pumped for this new dance season. I'm just still getting over whatever this illnesses have been for the last few weeks. Like, it started right after recital, and it's just not stopped, so anyway, that is not really what I was here to talk about. I was not here to talk about how ill I am. I am here to do my 2018 wrap-up, which I wanted to show you guys. So all year I have been keeping, if you guys know what bullet journaling is, I have been keeping a bullet journal for just reading. So usually bullet journals are like a different way of forming a diary, which is, it's cool. I definitely like it, but I'm not really a diary type of girl. I have a hard time like tracking my emotions and stuff like that, just because some of my mental health stuff prevents that, and also because I find it hard to just like take time for myself, which sounds terrible. It's definitely probably going to be one of my New Year's resolutions to just take some me time, even though I've had that for the last couple weeks now, but just taking that me time to reflect on my day and reflect on my emotions and stuff is not something that I typically do. So yeah, that is definitely something that I need to start working on. I usually, when I have like my downtime, kind of reflect on other people and like oh, like, did this person get this note from me? And it's really hard for me to film vlog style. I don't like holding the camera like this, but like normally my brain is like, oh, did this person get this note from me? Did I do this right? Oh, I wonder how that person's doing. I know this person was in the hospital. I should try. Like, my brain is just constantly in like a form of like work. I don't know, like, not even, like, work for my job, but, like, just work in general. Like, I feel like everything's work. So, I have a hard time keeping a diary because my diary would literally be like, ooh, reminder, gotta do this for dad, or, like, oh, make sure I make these plans with my best friend, like, kind of stuff. So, I don't really keep a diary. I really probably should track my days a little bit better. Sometimes they get all jumbled up, but I do love journaling though. Like, I just don't like doing it about myself. So what I did this year is I actually started keeping a reading journal, which a lot of people have, but I've done it in the form of bullet journal style, and just really made it something that I'm proud of and something that I wanted to share with you guys in case this is something you're interested in doing. And I figured this would be a nice thing to do yearly. So I've actually started creating my 2019 one, and I will show that in the next video probably. It's not quite done, so I don't know. It might not be done by the next video, but we'll see. We'll see. So I wanted to go through my 2018 one with you, just kind of show you how I did it. So that's what's happening next. So here we go. Let's get into it. So here is the outside of my reading journal. I have this sticker and it says, "It always seems impossible until it's done," by Nelson Mandela right on the front, because I really did not think I would be able to read as many books as I had kind of made a goal for myself. So I thought that was a good inspirational quote to put on the outside of it. And then on the side, just because I'm going to display this on my bookshelf, I put 2018 so I know what year this is from. And I had the yellow binder because yellow is my favorite color. So you open it up, it just says Reading Journal 2018, which is just what it is. We have a table of contents, just to kind of sum up and know where each book was, especially if I want to refer a book to somebody. So I can like look it up and be like, oh yeah, that was a really good one for this person. So as you can see, the table of contents has 102 pages. So that's how many pages are in here. So then the next page is my very first actual page. So this is books I read in 2018. And let me try to steady the camera. There we go. Okay, so these are just all the books that I read, just like the binder or the spines of each book is what it's supposed to look like as a bookshelf. And my goal was 45. I ended up reading 60. So that was really exciting. And this is the did not finish page. They don't get to make it to the bookshelf because I didn't finish them. But there was only 3 that I didn't finish. So The Hate U Give, I'm just really not like into books with a lot of swearing. I know that this is a really great book of the year and people really love this book. I'm just not into a book that has a lot of swearing. Or, you know, I just started reading it and it just wasn't my cup of tea. And I know a lot of people are probably not my biggest fan for saying that, but it just wasn't like what I'm really into for a book. So, and then You Enter a Room. I did write a review on this one. I did read most of it. There is like a few things that I skimmed over, a few things that I skipped. It just wasn't my favorite book that I read this year. So I don't really count it as fully reading it, even though I wrote a review on my Instagram for it. Just because it's not, I read enough to get the gist. I didn't finish the whole thing, so. And then The Song I Knew by Heart, I did not finish reading. It just was very lengthy and wordy. So this is my library card page. I hid the names because my best friend's name is on here, and as I've said in past videos that she does not want her name on YouTube, which it's just her first name, but still I'm respectful of that. So, but this is like books I've lent out and books I've borrowed from someone, and I kind of just made them look like little library cards. So there's that. Okay, so next we have the author index. So this is just, you can look up the books by the author's last name, and so it's got the author's name and the page numbers next to it. And there's the second page of that. So then we get into January. So all the book, start of the book pages look like this, and books read. Obviously, I only read one book in January, which is not what it was my goal for the year. But I actually didn't start my New Year's resolution goal until mid-January. So that's why I only read one book. We get to the first book that I read. I hid my best friend's name again because this is her favorite book, and she recommended it to me, and I finally finished it. As you can see, I started reading it in August of 2017 and didn't finish it until January 28th of 2018. So that's how long I had this book, and that just shows you what my reading journey was like before I even got into my reading. And now I can't believe how many books I've read. I mean, 60 books this year, and August to January, it's just crazy to me how much my life changed from reading. So then we get into February, and I read 4 books in February. I'm just going to flip through these quick because they all look pretty much the same. So I do the title, I do the author's name, and then I do date started and date finished. I do the genre, I do the year published, I do the page numbers, I do a little summary, and then I put within the summary if it was a reread or a new read. I give it a out of 5-star rating. So this one obviously is a 5-star. I love because of Winn-Dixie. I do a little emoji for what it made me feel while I was reading it. My favorite character, how I heard about this book, the soundtrack song. So that's a song that I feel really goes with the book, and my favorite quote from the book. Mid-year, I did the ultimate book race. So kind of like a bracket, like a basketball or football bracket, if you guys do fantasy football leagues or whatever. But this is Ultimate Book Race 1. So this is books that I've read throughout time. And as you can see, it went down to Harry Potter series, which I've read in the past, and Orbiting Jupiter, which I read in 2018. And the winner was the Harry Potter series. Because again, I've said so many times that it's just amazing that she's created an entire world for us. So then I'm going to flip it, and we're going to do... So this is the 2018 biannual superlatives of just like top book, worst book. And I did this, this was January to June's, and you'll see why I did it that way in a little bit. So then we have July through December, same things, just still book reviews for those. So then we're going to go down to the closing. So the closing, so actually we'll talk about the last book that I read in the year first. So the last book I read was Colon Sav, and as you guys can see, I finished this on December 30th. So I probably could have read a short book between December 30th and today. But I loved this book so much. It was just so inspirational to me. I cried so many tears of joy, just really things I needed to hear. And I didn't want to end the year on any other things. So Colon Sav, Our Surprising Love Story by Cole and Savannah LeBrun. They are a YouTube family. If you guys don't know them, highly recommend this book. It was just a great way to end the year. It was just beautiful. So then we get into 2018 books I've read turned to movies. We've got little film strips and a key of movies that were spot on, movies that were semi-accurate, and movies that were nothing like the book. The only book I felt was really... or the only movie I felt was really spot on to the book. Well, there's 2. One was Charlotte's Web. Obviously Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, because that is like the actual screenplay. So there's actually 3. So Charlotte's Web, Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, and then The Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe I felt was very, very accurate. I mean, other than Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, I feel like that was the most accurate. The worst, there were so many that are nothing like the book, but probably... Nerve. Like, they literally just took the idea of Nerve and turned it into their own thing. Like, it wasn't anything close to what the book was. So, yeah. So then we have my monthly book emotion. So this is just kind of like a fun little pixely looking chart of what each month kind of like overall the book that I read. I had a lot of like funny, happy months of January, February, May, August, November, December. April was the only month that really made me mad. Like the books that I read just ticked me off. And then February and April also made me kind of bored or tired. Some of them tied, so that's why April's on here twice. February's on here twice. February's actually on here 3 February's on here a lot. February, I just had one of each color, I think. Yep. So, but yeah, you get kind of the gist there of I just track what this is like. Each book represents their overall emotion, and then I add them up at the end and put it next to the emoji. So then next I have the genre race, which is what I read the most of. So obviously I read the most of realistic fiction this year. Second place was sci-fi fantasy, which actually surprised me because I'm actually not a sci-fi fantasy kind of gal. So I was surprised with how much sci-fi fantasy I read. I don't even know what was included under other, maybe something that just had multiple genres or something that just was kind of different. I don't really know what I considered as other, but that came in third. In fourth, we had nonfiction memoir. Then we had Christian and mystery, and romance was last place because I do not like romance books. So these three were like books that my best friend suggested that were also considered Christian books. So then we have the amount of time it took to read each book in this beautiful little pie chart that I've made. And it just tracked like, did I read it in 1 day? Did I read it in 4 to 6 days kind of thing? And then I did the math, which is impressive for me because I'm not really good at math, and created the pie chart. So then we have where in the world did books in 2018 take me to? And as you can see, I only covered 3 countries: North America, Europe, and Australia. So maybe next year one of my goals will be to do a book from each country. And this is like setting based, not where the book was published, but setting based. So then we go to where in the USA have books taken me. As you can see, I had a lot of different settings throughout the USA. But again, I think it'd be cool, maybe not this year, but in the future, to read a book that takes place in every state. That would be kind of cool. So, and then what decades did books take me to in 2018? And it starts in before 1800s and goes to more than 50 years in the future. And as you can see, there's some time gaps, but for the most part, they were pretty much what, I mean, I hit at least every, 18, 19, 19, like, you know, kind of thing. Like, I hit almost all of them, so that was pretty cool. And I've got my little drawings down here: my train, flapper dress, baseball bat, record, Rubik's Cube, technology, I don't know if it's a laptop or a cell phone, it's supposed to be something, Facebook logo, and the UFO for the future. So then this I'm just kind of calling different realms that books took me to. So these are books that took me to a different country, books that took me to a different time, books that took me on vacation, books that took me closest to home, books that took me to a different world, and books that took me to school. And then how far did I explore a series? So these are all the series that I started or read. I finished the track series this year, which was great. I highly recommend that, especially for middle grade readers and especially middle grade boy readers. I thought that was a really good book. I also finished the whole series, but I read wholes before 2018, so I didn't read them both this year. I read a lot of the Who Was, What Was series just because they're quick little reads, and I do like learning little facts like that, so I think those are fun. So yeah, that's what I did there. So then I have my book challenges. So this was my first book challenge and just kind of crossed off as I went and filled in as I went. And then my second book challenge is right there. These were both based off of book challenges on Pinterest. And then my book bingo, which you'll see in my 2019 one when I filmed that I've actually made it so it doesn't just look like a yellow blob for 2019, but this kind of, I made this page late. I had been doing the book bingo on Facebook, or I've been doing the book bingo on Instagram, but this was the book bingo in my book. I started later than that. So I just put when I fully covered the page, which was 12/27/18. So then we have the Ultimate Book Race 2, again, another bracket, but this is just for the top books of 2018. So anything I really gave a 5-star rating to, obviously not all of them made it to the list, but most of the ones that I gave a 5-star rating to and how that ended up. And it came down to Orbiting Jupiter or Colin Sav, Our Surprising Love Story, which was the last book I read this year, and Orbiting Jupiter 1. So then we get into the 2018 biannual superlatives. Again, this is the July through December one. All the top 5 books, the top book, worst book, best character, all that stuff I have on here. And the reason I did it separated like that is because I wanted to do overall award winners and give myself options. So like top book, my top book of January through June was Orbiting Jupiter. My top book from July through December was The Bone Sparrow and Orbiting Jupiter one. Worst book, Horton's Miraculous Mechanisms. Best character was Joseph from Orbiting Jupiter. Best setting, The Giver. Most diverse from Twinkle with Love. Longest book, Nearly Gone. Shortest book, Locomotion. Funniest book, Greetings from the Flip Side. Songs that best fit a book was the Special 2 went with We Are Okay pretty amazingly. Saddest book was Orbiting Jupiter. Best book box was the Four Anchors book box. Best overall quote is Human beings is the only kind of animal that is killing their own kind, which is from the BFG. Best YA is Orbiting Jupiter. Best Christian, Cole and Sav, Our Surprising Love Story. Best Children's, A Wrinkle in Time. Best Sci-Fi Fantasy, Things Not Seen. Best Author, Jenny B. Jones. Character I most related to, Brianna from The Flip Side. Month I read the most books is May, and month I read the least books was January. Here is just a collection of all the best quotes I had in books this year, just kind of all scrambled together on this Best Quotes of the Year page. So then I do my bookshelf database of all the books on my shelf, and if I have read them or if I haven't read them, I just check off at the end of the year what I have and have not read. As you can see, I have a lot of bookshelf books and a lot that I haven't read. So, ooh, my foot is falling asleep. Okay. And then at the end of that, I have my bookshelf database results. I only read 49 out of the 136 books on my bookshelf this year, which is so not good. It's only 36%. So I've read 44 of the 49 books that 44 out of, I think it was 92 books or something like that I bought in 2018, and I have not read 49 of those. And I've only read 7 of the books that I bought before 2018, and I have 36 that I have not read. So again, I need to get better at reading books on my bookshelf. And then just goodbye 2018. That's the end. So, and then that's the end. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I hope you guys have a very awesome New Year's Eve. I hope you enjoyed my bullet journal and that it inspires you to kind of start tracking your reading journal and your reading journey through 2019. So anyways, I hope you guys have a great night and ring in the New Year's awesome. I will be posting at midnight tonight, and I'll see you then. Bye!